Yes, guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102 D.T.L. We are back on it after a long break. Mark has finally got off his arse and sorted it out. He's been keeping us in suspense, yeah, and I think he's pretty fucking appalling. Nah, I'm only messing with you, Mark. Mark's had a few issues with his database being corrupted, and he lost it, and then he managed to retrieve it. Then he sent us out a save a few days ago, and it wasn't quite 100% accurate. But we're all up and going now, and Season 5 is right around the corner. Now, for those of you that want to know more about D.T.L, as you watch this video, I won't go into it too much. The link is in the description to the official website. Get your ass over there, have a look at the interactive sub-forums, and all you need to know is right there. So, Season 5, the auctions are concluded. The player-to-player deals are concluded. I think you already knew that, but the good thing is, this is what we've all been waiting for, is what Mark has got now. He sent out an unofficial save with all the players moved to their respective clubs, myself, etc, etc. Now, it's important that I emphasise that this is unofficial, because he's looking for feedback on this, make sure there's no errors, and from what I can gather, I don't think no one's got any errors. But if there was any like little tweaks, he will make an official Season 5 save. Now, the difference between unofficial and official is he's going to start a brand new game. So a player who loads up different, he might load up better for me in the official save than what he is on this unofficial, vice versa. So that's that. So let's have a look now then. Let's have a look then where we're at. So this is my squad. We'll start with my squad first, right? And to be honest with you, right, I looked at my squad, and all the players that I've been buying, wheeling and dealing, they're all here, and so on and so on. I've even picked my team. I've even, a little bit fucking geeky. I've even gone to town with this. I've even put players in reserves. There's no point in putting players in reserves because we don't control the game. We only send our team sheet to Mark. I was just doing it for the benefit of reference, to be honest with you. And seeing and I realise, right, that I have got some showers of shit in my setup. But this is what I mean about unofficial. So let me show you a shower of shit that I've got. If I can just pick a random player. Okay, I mean, he'd be alright if I'm using it. I'm going to show you something. So I've got some real awful players. I think there was a defender. Who is it now? There was a... Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't remember who it was. I had a shitty defender somewhere. But let's just take this guy, Jeremy. He could, on the official save, when Mark starts a new game, he could start off as the dog's bollocks. So whilst I've got myself a provisional lineup tactic, that could change depending on what the official save looks like, because that's what's really key here. So, a few of my new recruits, of course. Mark Kerr, big player, but he isn't really a Season 1 player in CMO 102. He really develops over the duration of the season. We've brought some real good players in. I feel we've brought some good players in. We've got a little bit of Mexico, because we've still got we've got a Mexican centre-half. We've got Jesus Arellano, of course, who is, for me, is a go-to player. One of the very first players I used to buy when I first played this game. We brought in Marian Pahars, who on this save he doesn't look any good. I brought him on a deal, on a player-to-player transfer. We have still got Montero, of course. Where's Montero? There he is. Paulo Montero. I'm sure he's a red card waiting to fucking happen. We did some work on goalkeepers, of course. Quite pleased with my goalkeeping work, actually. So, in terms of value, now there was a reason. Don't panic as to why that says 20 million. I did it for a reason, and it was just to get rid of that wanted player. So, I don't feel that I've got the strongest team in the world. I don't feel it's the strongest team in the world at all. But I don't know, you never know. I mean, the tactics. Before I have a look at some of my rival managers, let me just cast your mind back now for the benefit of those people that are not so familiar. These are the unlocked formations available. 3-5-2 defensive. So the rules are, we can tinker with arrows, we can tinker with team instructions, but we cannot tinker with player instructions. And we cannot do anything like that. So I don't really like 3-5-2 defensive. I don't like it at all. You can see that my provisional one is a 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-2-4. I don't really like it, and 5-3-2 attacking. Now I might opt to that. I think Chelsea Spectral tends to. I remember seeing a formation something like that, and I think I did trial it myself. So they're the unlocked tactics. So let's take a look now then at some of my rivals. Let's start with Trunky. Trunky's done a really good job, to be fair. I don't know where he got Vieira from. Some fucking team must have been stupid to have let him go. Trunky has got himself a really good team. Now, obviously, when you've got players like Vieira and Mendieta, I mean, if he plays 4-4-2 and he puts them together, I mean, I know they're both defensive-minded, but, you know, he's already got some great players, in my opinion. And Perez, I remember him getting him on the auctions. David Trezeguet, Mark Overmars. You know, I think Trunky will do well. I feel Trunky will do well. And I want to say I wish him all the luck in the world, but I'd be a liar, because I hope you fail, Trunky. I really do, particularly when you play me. The only time I want you to win, Trunky, is when I benefit from it. No offence, but I'm only joshing, not. Okay, let's go to then. Let's go to Arsenal. Now, this is Marimo. I think he's relatively new, Marimo. Got a couple of good players, and I think every team in the game, they've got a couple of good players, apart from me. Zidane's a great player to have. Henrik Larsson, great player. And I think there is two marquee players. I do think Van der Gun's a good player, though. I think he's got a good player there. A little bit underrated, I feel. JJ Kocher. Ooh, we all love JJ Kocher, don't we? Danny Mills. I fucking hate Danny Mills. I just think he's a twat. Shouldn't be in the game, in my opinion. Let's take a look now. I don't think he's in... the next team I want to go to, I don't think they're in the Premier League, is Stoke City. And that is run, of course, by our very own chairman, Mark Henderson. But he's in the First Division. So, Mark is very, very shrewd with his transfers. I think Mark's got like a shitload of money in his D.T.L bank. Trying to think if there's anybody that of interest that I really recognise here. No one completely of interest, but we'll see how Mark flares up, shall we? We'll see how Mark flares up. I'm trying to remember who else is in the right. Who else is in that First Division with Mark? So Preston North End, Luke _21. Let's have a look at you, Luke. Edmundo, great player. Guti, good player. Stefan Selikovic, we all know Selikovic, of course we do. He's got himself relatively good. Chris Sutton is actually quite a good striker, to be fair. The problem is, right, whilst I do think Chris Sutton's a good player, and whilst I say he's got some good players there, the competition is fierce. And I've just read Tashinadi there. It's quite fierce. So, whilst he's got a good squad, so has everybody. So, that's that. Let's go now then to Leeds United. Dueverston. He's been busy in the auctions and on player to player. I'm sure he must have done some deals. So, Dueverston, Ryan Giggs, of course, we all remember that one on the auction. He beat me to win, the bastard. Ebby Sand, he's got some good players. Again, you know, a lot of good players there. But I think it's about having a balance. It really is about having a balance, no doubt about that. This one, I don't think these are in the... These might be with Mark. Bolton Wanderers, they are with Mark. So, Evsham, if that's how you pronounce it, but you are known as Evsham. Deal with it. Playing in the second tier along with Mark at Stoke. And Evsham is Bolton Wanderers. Again, you know, slightly different sort of competitive in terms of the rest of AI. He's not, you know, I would fancy Bolton and Stoke to go up this season. They should be, in my opinion. He's got some decent players. He has got some decent players, but you've got to remember it's on a different scale to what you're looking at in terms of the valuation of players. What we're looking at here. So the very best of luck, Eversham. I've got no beef with you because you're not Chelsea. Let's go to Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn Rovers also in the First Division, of course. So second tier, Just a Ghost. This is the ID, Just a Ghost from the forums. Very, very small squad indeed. And that could really be your downfall. I mean, I'm saying that because I've got 45 fucking players over at mine. It's a shame player-to-player deals are gone, because I would gladly give you some showers of shit to improve your team. That was an insult, wasn't it? Sorry, I'm only joshing. So good luck there. Let's take a look now then at Leicester City. Leicester City, General Smuts. Let's have a look at Anelka, Lissalk, Mutu, Joe Cole. He's got some absolute great player. Locatelli, great player. Makalele, Gallardo. Again, he's got a real blend. He's got a real blend of some players there. The very best of luck, General Smuts. I hope you do well. Let's go to my biggest rival, my biggest pain. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking, Spectral. So, Spectral is Chelsea. And in case you're wondering, guys, I know you see that it says Ranieri. This is an unofficial save that Mark created, so that's why these managers are in. But I know who's manager of who. So Spectral, what a team. I mean, you know, I'd be fancying him to do well. I mean, he'd be my red-hot favourite to win the title at the moment. Vieri, Thuram, Alex, Cannavaro. He's got some fucking Deisler. Matt Holland is a good player. I feel Matt Holland's a good player in this. And whilst his competition is going to be fierce, he's got some really, really good players. So we will see. We will see. Let's go to one of my online guys that I play quite a lot with. London 35, also known as Ian. Ian, Manchester United. Not really got the highest value players in comparison to some of his rival Premiership teams. But this is the difference with Ian. Ian goes more of a balance. And now I know Ian. I played online with Ian for over 10 years. As fucking sad as that sounds. So I know how Ian works in terms of some of the players that he gets. He don't go for someone that looks pretty on paper. You know, he does a little bit of research onto them. And he'll have done his research. And he's got a couple of good players there. Do I think it's strong enough to compete for the title? Honestly, no. But I think he'll be. I genuinely feel he'll be doing. He'll be a top 4 team. I love that player. What a player! A bit like when I said about Jesus Arellano when I used to go for Arellano when I first played the game over 22 years ago. He was another one. Ivan Hurtado. What a fucking player! And that's the sort of player that I feel probably Ian went for him as well. You can get a good season or two out of him. Okay. On to Southampton, Derm. I mean, let's have a look where Dermatron, Palermo, what a player. Franca, he brought Franca off me. And do you know what, right? Going back to what I said, the unofficial save, Derm will be hoping that Franca loads up like that. He looks fucking amazing, don't he? But I think if I remember rightly, I could be wrong. I think we did a deal which brought Mark Kerr over to me and a few quid. Whilst I might have a bit of money in the bank, and I said that Mark's got money in his Stoke bank, don't help you now. It only helps you at the end of the season. So, Derm, like I say, he's got some fairly decent players. He's got a good balance of players. He's got a good blend. Valoran's a good player. I like that. Redondo, 32 years of age. There is a method to my madness on what I've done, because it was announced, of course, that this is going to be the last season of ODB. So we will then play the next official update, or I believe it's the next official update. Now, I don't know when that is. Somebody said it was a 3.965 update. It could be the 3.968 update. Now, if the 3.968 update is the next official update, which is what I think it is, if I'm truly honest with you, Redondo could be a complete shower of shit. And he is 32, so I don't expect him to be much better. So there are methods to this. There really is. So Dermatron, the very best of luck. Some really good players. A good balance. Certainly a good balance of players in your lineup. Let's have a look at AJ then. Manchester City, AJ. Ariel Ortega, Jose Marie, Diego Alonso, Rossini, Bobby. I think Bobby Petter's a great player on this ODB. Dudek, I think, is a good goalkeeper. Zebida is a great player. So many right wingers, Mexican, that you can utilise. So AJ, a decent looking lineup. Decor's a great player as well. It's got a real good blend. He's got a real good blend of some real quality players. Very defensive midfield minded. Be interesting to see what sort of lineup he has, what sort of setup, shall I say? Sorry. So that is AJ. So not many to go now, guys. On to Redknapp and Liverpool. Let's have a look at Liverpool. David Beckham, Chiesa, Cafu, Di Germania, Illy, Di Biagio. Again, you know, it's got a really, really good blend of some real quality players. I would be tipping Liverpool to be certainly battling on the top four. I really do think he'll be battling on the top four. And we've actually only got 2 more teams left to check. And they are Hull City. Hull City, run by AMC. Let's have a look at Hull City. Edgar Davids, Alan Shearer. I mean, those 2 players alone, Season 1 of the ODB, can make all the difference. It's just about really having that blend of other players. You know, personally, Jason Wilcox is not top flight material, so really, you know, but that being said, Mehmet Scholl is a great player. Di Vio is great. Dino Baggio, never really given him much of a pot shot chance, to be honest with you. To Ronald De Boer, get a good season or so out of him. You know, the very best of luck, AMC. Hope all goes well for you. And finally, I don't know if they're in the top flight, to be honest with you. Yes, they are. Sorry, my apologies. Reza, if that's how you... Reza. Tranmere Rovers, Rui Costa, Pandiani, Luis Sahar, Wiltor, Bo Morte, Yap Stam. Do not underestimate Tranmere Rovers. Got some good players. My only concern is players like Sean Davis. I think it's a great player, but they're very high injury prone. You've got to hope that Wiltor don't go fucking AWOL, because if I remember rightly, when a player goes AWOL within the D.T.L, there's nothing Mark can do about it. And I get that, because I guess that's part of the risk you take. Anelka never really ever goes AWOL, does he? He causes problems and shit, but he don't ever go AWOL. So fuck all that shit. Because this is a good thing about it. This is a fresh save every season. So you haven't got to worry about fucking contracts and stuff. And obviously Mark doesn't have the protection bullshit going, because it's always a fresh save. He don't have the non-EC rule going, which is all great. So do not underestimate Reece. I'd like to see Reece do well. I think he's top 6. In terms of myself, you know, mine's more of a balance. I need to be really aiming for the top 6. That's my objective, top 6, and hopefully a good cup run, because I don't think I'm in Europe this season. Europe is based on season finishing last season, so we'll see how that goes. So that is it then, the D.T.L, guys. I've gone on a little bit, I know I have, and I haven't been quite as abusive as I usually have, because I had a lot to cover. And that's it from me, guys. Hopefully the next update will be once we've started the months, and if Mark's history is anything to go by, we'll probably get the first couple of months done within the next 2 years. I'm only joking, Mark. Just as long as Spectral don't do well, I'm happy. Until next time from me, guys, take it easy.